Good morning everyone. Welcome to another session of structural analysis. So in the previous problem we have taken up sinking of support of one beam, that is continuous beam. Now today we will take up one more problem, that is on frames. Okay, write down the question. Analyze the frame shown in figure using slope deflection method. Draw bending moment diagram for the frame. Okay, so this is the question and the frame is like this. So this is A, B, C, D. We have one point load here and we have one more point load like this, and the dimensions are yes 4 meter, 2 meter, 2 meter, 2 meter, 2 meter, 20 kilonewton, and this is also 20 kilonewton. Okay, so this is the question given and the frame is also given in the question itself. So now we have to calculate all these moments, and along with that we have to draw bending moment diagram for this frame. Okay, you might have seen many times these type of frames, isn't it? The beam with the frame which is standing in our class is also in the same fashion. We have one column over there, one more column here, and we have a beam like this. So but here in this case we do not have any loading on the beam. You can see we do not have any load on span BC, whereas we have load on span AB and span CD. Okay, where do you see these type of loading? Can you tell me where can you see any example? Central point load. Okay, so suppose for example we have a cellar, okay, underground. So what happens, we try to construct pillar in the cellar, isn't it? So after construction of pillar, what will happen? They do backfilling. After construction of these pillar, they construct wall. Behind that, they fill the remaining portion, that gap, with the help of soil or earth and things, so many things. So because of that soil, the weight will act on the column. The entire weight of that particular soil will act on column. This is what is your horizontal loading on the column. Okay, able to follow, able to understand? This is the somewhat practical example, that cellars are the best practical example for this particular structure or frame, because this structure is below earth, below ground level, and above this one we have first floor, ground floor, then first floor, like that. This is -1. Able to understand? Yes. So now in this fixed end moments, okay, so I'll first calculate fixed end moment for span AB. I will draw the span AB like this. This is A and this is B, and load is acting in this direction, that is 20 kilonewton. This is 2 meter and this is 2 meter. Now because of this loading, because of this horizontal loading, what will happen to the column? It will try to get deflected in right direction, isn't it? To overcome that, these supports will create moments. How the moment will act? the moment will act in anti-clockwise direction at A and clockwise direction at B. So this will be my MFAB and this one will be MFBA, isn't it? So now what is the value of MFAB? Can you tell me? Minus WL by 8, isn't it? So what is the value of W there? Minus 20 into span of L is 4 divided by 8. 4 ones are 4 twos are 2 ones are 2 tens are. So minus 10 kilonewton meter, isn't it? Next, what about MFBA? Same, but plus WL by 8. So plus 20 into 4 by 8, which is equal to again plus 10 kilonewton meter. Fine. Next, we'll go for the next span, that is span BC. We have span BC, and for span BC, do we have any loading? No load, isn't it? For this particular span BC, we do not have any load. So what happens there? Fixed end moment, that is MFBC, and MFCB will become 0. So I'll draw here, I'll fix it so that it will be clear for all of us. This is span B and this is span C, this is point C. So however we do not have any load, what will happen to MFBC? We do not consider self-weight in analysis. In analysis part, we do not consider self-weight. In designing, we have to consider self-weight. We always, in analysis, we always consider the external forces. What are the external forces? Okay. What are the external forces acting from the on the beam? Self-weight, all that internal weights we do not consider in analysis. Okay. So what will happen to this beam? MF BC is equal to 0 and MF CB is equal to 0. Next, what is the next point we have? Next beam we have MF CD. We have one more column like this, and this is C and D. We have point load acting from this side now. Okay, 20 kilonewton. And because of this loading, what is happening to my beam? It is moving in left side. So to overcome that deflection, my support moments will act in, one will act in clockwise and anti-clockwise. This is anti-clockwise and this is clockwise. So this one will be MF CD and this one is MF DC. Alright. Now, can you tell me what is the value? This is 2 meter and this is also 2 meter. So MF CD is equal to minus again same WL by 8, isn't it? WL is 4 divided by 8, you will get the same value. WL by 8, which is equal to how much we got? Minus 10 kilonewton meter. And MF DC is equal to plus WL by 8, which is equal to plus 10 kilonewton meter. So what happens, last time in the previous class, last year, I have shown this 20 kilonewton, a big arrow, whereas here I have shown small arrow. So many students, few students, not many students, few students ask, sir, 20 kilonewton is looking very small, whereas this load is looking very big. So it is not like that, okay. Arrow and size of that particular arrow, it doesn't matter. What is the weight acting on that beam or force acting on that beam, that matters, okay. So if the arrow is small, or many times, in question itself, they will show point load very big and that point load will be 2 kilonewton. UDL they will show very small and that will be 50 kilonewton per meter, okay. So don't get confused over there. And in the same problem, you can see we do not have any EI values. EI, EI2, EI3, EI, it is not mentioned over here. So by default, what you have to consider? You have to consider EI, EI, EI. Many times it will happen, they will not mention EI. Because of that, many students are, it is not according to our syllabus. It is out of syllabus like that. Or if the question is wrong, we will get full marks for that. It's not like that. If they have not mentioned, you have to assume that it is EI for all the members. Otherwise, they will mention in the question itself, the theory part. Okay, analyze in this portion itself, they will mention. All right. So now we have calculated all our fixed end moments. Now we'll go for the calculation of slope deflection equations. So this is over, right? You can copy down. Now we will go for slope deflection equations. Slope deflection equations. All right. Now slope deflection equations. So whether the frame is sinking, whether the frame is going down, whether it has mentioned in the problem, it has not mentioned that whether the support is sinking or not. It is saying analyze the beam, and if you see the frame, any frame, if you see here, if you cut this frame into two parts, if you cut this frame into two parts, if you cut it from y-axis, what will happen to the frame? The portion which is on the left side is equal to the portion on the right side, isn't it? So that frame is said to be your symmetric frame. Okay, the frame which has, if you transverse the frame, and if you see on the left and right, if it is equal, all the forces are equal. Suppose for example we have here 30 kilonewton, here 20 kilonewton, then that frame is not symmetrical, that is unsymmetrical. Okay, but here in this frame, the entire frame is symmetrical. We have 20 kilonewton load, we have 20 kilonewton load, we have 2 meter distance, we have 2 meter distance, span of this AB and span of this CD is same. Okay, we do not have any point load here, we do not have point load. The same 20 kilonewton, if it is over here at 1 meter, then again the frame is unsymmetric. Okay, if we have any minor changes in the frame also, then it is said to be unsymmetric. But for this frame, we have the entire frame is completely symmetric. Okay, so directly we'll go for the slope deflection equations. That is, what is the first one? M AB is equal to MF AB plus 2EI by L into 2 theta A plus theta B. Shall I add 6EI delta by L square there? No need. Why? Because there is no sinking of support, isn't it? So what about here theta? Can you tell me what is theta A? Theta A is equal to 0. What about theta B? Not equal to 0. Theta C not equal to 0. Theta D is equal to 0. Right? So theta A and theta D, we do not have to find these values, whereas we have to calculate theta B and theta C. Okay. However, we do not have any load on span BC. Load on span BC is 0. Okay, but theta B and theta C will exist. Alright. So theta A will become 0. So what is the value of MFAB? Minus 10 plus 2EI. What is the span of AB? 4 into theta B. So what will happen? 2 1s are 2 2s are. So minus 10 plus 0.5 EI theta B. Right? Yes. So capital MAB. This is equation number 1. Now I'll go for MBA. That is MFBA plus 2EI by L into 2 theta B plus theta A. Okay. Again theta A will become 0. So what is MFBA we have? Plus 10 2EI by 4 into 2 theta B. Now 2 1s are 2 2s are 2 2. So 10 plus EI theta B. This is MBA. Call this as equation number 2. Fine. Now we will go for, this is MBA. MBA. Fine. Now we will go for span BC. Can you tell me? MBC is equal to MFBC plus 2EI by L into 2 theta B plus theta C. isn't it? What about this? The value of MFBC we have 0. MFBC is 0. So 0 plus 2EI by L. 2EI by, what is the span of BC? 4 into 2 theta B plus theta C. So what will happen to the equation here? So 2 2s are 4 by 4. So EI theta B plus 0.5 EI theta C. 0.5 EI theta C. So this is equation number 3. Fine. Able to follow? So now I will go for another equation, that is MCB is equal to MFCB plus 2EI by L into 2 theta C plus theta B, isn't it? So again MFCB is 0, so 2EI by L. What will happen this one? Can you tell me? 2 2s are 4. So can I write here? First I will take down theta B. So 0.5 EI theta B plus EI theta C, right? Just tell me 0.5 EI theta B plus EI theta C, whether it is correct? Yes? Right. So capital MCB. We can name this equation as equation number 4. Now we have finished span AB, span BC. Now we will go for span CD. Okay. So MCD is equal to MFCD plus 2EI by L into 2 theta C plus theta D. Okay. Theta D is 0. So what will happen? What is MFCD we have? MFCD minus 10. Minus 10, right. Minus 10 plus 2EI by 4 into 2 theta C. So minus 10, 2 2s are 4. This is EI theta C, right? 10 plus EI theta C. Am I right? Yes. 10 plus EI theta C. So this is MCD. Equation number 5. Now can you tell me MDC? MFDC plus 2EI by L into 2 theta D plus theta C. Alright. So MFDC is how much? Plus 10. Plus 10. Plus 2EI by 4, right? L is 4 for span DC. 2 theta, theta D will become 0, theta C will exist. So what will happen to this one? 2 by 4 is 1 by 2, 0.5. 0.5 EI theta C. So MDC is equal to plus 10 plus 0.5 EI theta C. So this is equation number 6 we have. Okay. So right from equation number 1 to 6 we have solved. We have 3 moments, right? MFAB, MFBC, MFBA, BA, BC and CB, then CD and DC. All those equations we have calculated. Now we'll go for the equilibrium condition. What is equilibrium conditions we have? See here at this joint, moment will be 0. This is rigid joint. Rigid joint is same as your simply support. Okay. This is also rigid joint. Rigid joint is also like a simply support, that is your hinge support or simply support. Both are almost one and the same, isn't it? So what will happen here? MBA plus MBC is equal to 0, and another equation will be MCB plus MCD will become 0. Okay. So we'll apply the equilibrium equations, conditions. So apply equilibrium conditions. So So for the application of equilibrium conditions, the very first one we have is MBA plus MBC is equal to 0. What is another condition we have? MCB plus MCD is equal to 0. So first we will apply this one. What is MBA we have? 10 plus EI theta B. This is MBA, right? Then what about MBC? EI theta B plus 0.5 EI theta C is equal to 0, is equal to 0 here. So first take down the values of EI theta B, EI theta B. Here we have EI theta B, here also we have EI theta B. So 2 EI theta B, 2 EI theta B plus 0.5 EI theta C. Then we have plus 10 is equal to 0. Call this as equation number 7, right? Now we'll go for another equation, that is MCB. What is the value of MCB we have? 0.5 EI theta B plus EI theta C. This is MCB, right? Next, what about MCD? What is the next one? MCD. So here we have plus, so plus, what is the equation? Minus 10 plus EI theta C, that's it, right, is equal to 0. So now here also in the equation we have only EI theta B here, so I can write here 0.5 EI theta B, EI theta B plus EI theta C, EI theta C plus 2 EI theta C minus 10 is equal to 0. So equation number 8. So once you solve equation number 7 and 8 in your calculators, you will get the value of EI theta B and EI theta C. Make sure that in this equation you substitute the value of this as minus 10, for this one plus 10, okay, in your calculators, because in your calculators it will be AX plus BY equal to C there, right? 6.67, this EI theta B. And what about EI theta C? Okay, 6.67. Since the frame itself is symmetric, the loading is symmetric, so that is why we are getting the same values but in opposite sign, because one force is going in right direction, another force is going in left direction. So once you substitute EI theta B and EI theta C in equation number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, you will get the value of MAB, MBA, MBC, MCB, MCD, then MDC, right? So you will get all the values of MAB, MBA, MBC and MCB. So once you substitute all the values of EI theta B, theta C in equation number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, you will get the values of MAB, MBA, MBC, MCB, MCD and MDC. Okay. Alright. Now, after calculation of these moments, and can you just imagine what happened here? Can you analyze here what happened? We have calculated fixed end moments of MF, BC and MF, CB. Those values were 0. But here we got some moment here. What is that moment? 3.33, 3.33. So that is why if there is no load also, the effect of this load will be acting over here. There will be some moment acting on this beam. Alright. So even though we are getting 0 as fixed end moment, but there is some moment which is 3.33. If you design the beam by taking it as 0, then it may lead to some, cracks. It may lead to depreciation of the structure. Okay, many times you can see, you might be seeing that your beam and column, wall and column or beam will have minor cracks. Yes, at the joint itself you can see there might be some cracks. Yes, you can see those type of cracks because of those uncertainties, because the people, those who design, if they do not consider this portion, a small minor movement will create because of the loading, because of the loading it might have some effect on beam. It will surely have, it will have vibrations. The entire building is subjected to vibrations. If people are moving, that means people are creating vibrations. If benches are moving, if students are jumping or running, then it may feel vibrations. So those vibrations will create movement on that main beam, thereby affecting the primary beam or secondary beam, and that thereby creating these small movements, very minor movements, which will create minor cracks. So the beam and column, beam and wall, you can see many types of cracks. Those are because of neglecting those minor movements. All right. So now we will go for the bending moment diagram. Okay. So bending moment diagram, again it is very simple for frames. Many times they will ask, especially bending moment diagram for frames, and it is very easy for that. So I will write here bending moment for span AB. Can you tell me what is the bending moment for span AB? WL, yes, WL by 4. WL by 4. So WL by 4 is, W is 20 into 4 by 4. 20 kilonewton meter. For span BC, 0. We do not have any load over there. What about span CD? WL by 4, that is 20 into 4 by 4 is equal to 20 kilonewton meter. Alright. So I will draw the bending moment diagram here itself. So how to draw the bending moment diagram? First draw the beams or free body diagram of that figure. Free body diagram, isn't it? So free body diagram is drawn over here. Now I will draw the bending moment diagram first. What is the value of that one? 20, right? So bending moment diagram will be a triangle for point load. This is 20. And what about here? Here also it is, the central part, this is also 20. What about the fixed end moments we have? Here we have 13.33, isn't it? Here we have some 3.33. So this is 13.33 and here is 3.33. What about here? Again here we have 13.33. Then here we have again 3.33. Alright. Here we have 3.33 and here also we have 3.33. So this is your fixed end moment. So minus, minus, plus, minus, minus, plus, minus. So this is your bending moment diagram for this frame. Okay. So this is how we calculate all the moments and fixed end moments for the frame. This is your symmetric frame. Now in the next class we will be seeing unsymmetric frame. Okay.